it seems you've been forgotten. By whom, you may ask? Why, forgotten by the players. You see, this may surprise you, but you, my friend, you are a video game character. Now, you may think to yourself, wait, I'm not a real person? And to that I say, you are very real. Real to the hearts of the players. So you see, while you may be fading from the memories in their heads, you remain in the memories of their hearts. Aww. Welcome to the Obscura Disk Drive, or as we like to call it, the Odd, a world for half-forgotten characters such as yourself. Here, you can keep on being the heroes, NPCs, and villains that you are. Go on new adventures, have a new life, rob some people. It's all up to you. So enjoy your time in the Odd. And do be careful on the way down. Bye-bye.
Welcome back to another session of IndieX 2024. I'm Anna, otherwise known as One Ring, and in this session I'm going to introduce you Kidbash Super Legends, a game from Authentic Remixes. And I have the utmost pleasure to have here with me Bima and Ezra,
Yes.
uh,
Hi.
from the studio. Welcome and thank you so much for being here.
Right. Yeah, we appreciate the opportunity. Thanks so much for having us.
So I would love to start off by asking you to talk a little bit about your roles in Authentic Remixes. We were talking a little bit here
Yeah.
on backstage about the studio, about the development and the publishing part. So can you please introduce me a little bit more about Authentic Remixes?
Yeah, sure thing. Me and Ezra here, we're from Authentic Remixes. Kidbash Super Legend, this is our very first game. So we're
Wow.
co-developing it with Fat Raccoon Games and Niji Games. Uh, so our side, Authentic Remixes, we're the creators of the character and the IP of Kid Bash. So we started actually from toys. We did this so yeah,
Oh,
again because this is like our first game. So the art toy itself is like uh, inspired by a lot of like retro games and stuff. So it makes sense to eventually make a game, for ourselves,
yeah.
and our role in the development is more so on the like the art, animation, the story. The game design is a collaboration between all three studios. Yeah, but
Okay.
Fat Raccoon is handling the technical side, the actual like, game development, the programming stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, you have this character, you have this IP, and you are developing this alongside with the other studios. Okay, Ezra, welcome back. We're having a little bit of technical issues here, but hopefully they are fixed. Maybe.
Yeah.
I can hear you. I'm not sure if the stream can hear you. Okay, it's completely fine. Let's try to solve this and keep the conversation going in the meantime. Um, so I wanted to talk a little bit, Bima.
Yeah.
You explained already that this is based on a lot of retro gaming, and I mean, you can see it exactly how, right? And I wanted to ask you, where did this come from? Why Kid
Yeah. Yeah.
Bash?
All right. Okay. So yeah. So like the character itself is it's inspired by, like you said. I mean, like, we're glad when people say that, oh, you can tell, like, oh, you can just see it's you can, like, you're pretty familiar, I guess I would say,
Yeah.
with a lot of, like, oh, this kind of looks like this kind of looks like that, we're really glad when we hear that from people. uh, so we made the character as kind of like a what if this character was made, back in the 90s. We
Oh,
made Yeah, so we made him kind of like uh obviously like inspired by characters like Mega Man, like Mario, like Goku from Dragon Ball,
yeah,
so yeah, we're trying to bring back that kind of character design, right? And then
yeah,
from then we kind of like explored a bit more for the other characters. So maybe if Kitbash is more inspired by platformer characters, platformer
yeah,
heroes, like the other characters might be more inspired by farming sims or by fighting games and such
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I wanted to take a look at the game if when it's possible, and as soon as Ezra comes back, I can talk a little bit more with him as well. So basically, the feeling that you have while playing the game. This is the tutorial. I have played just a little bit, not too much, because I wanted also to be a little bit surprised while being here with you. And yeah, that's the feeling that basically you were mentioning, that uh, it has this very typical platformer retro kind of style. And
Yeah.
okay, Ezra, you are back. And
Hi, can you hear
hopefully,
me?
yes, 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 fantastic. So I was here talking a little bit with Bima. Welcome. I hope everything is solved now. I wanted to ask you a little bit. I was talking with him about your work, about your IP, and I wanted to hear a little bit from you as well.
Oh, yeah, so I don't know what Bima said before, but yeah, basically I think Bima said something about that we are from Toys IP, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that. And we just showcasing our toys, and we kind of in the art toy scene, something like that. And then suddenly we met the game developers Niji Games and Fat Raccoons, and then they really interest on making Kid Bash to becoming a game because they like the characters and they like
Yeah,
the IPs, and they believe that these characters can be introduced to the gaming industry as well. So
yeah.
yeah, the it just started like I think it's January, February this
Oh,
year, and
oh, really?
yeah,
Okay.
and I think the development is doing really well, and it turned out that we really have a good chemistry. We know what kind of the things that we want to pull on this game, and even right now, we still have a lot of improvement and development on how we want to deliver the games right now.
Yeah. One thing that you can see, and we are showing the game, is the game feels a lot like toys.
Mm.
All the artistic things. I You can see that they're almost real. It's very obvious, and of course it makes sense to make a game with so if these characters are based on video games, it only makes sense. Okay, let's use them
Yeah.
and try to make something out of it. And I wanted to ask both of you, uh, how, so basically it was the studios that approached you, right?
So we kind of put out no, it was actually pretty much literally just like a LinkedIn kind of ad, wasn't it, Ezra? Right. So and like Fat Raccoon. Oh, it was at first it was Niji Games. They've released a bunch of games before. Uh, they were known for like collaborating, with other studios. So yeah, they approached us. They saw our pitch for the games, and they brought in Fat Raccoon, Fat Raccoon Games, who were more kind of like they were more experienced in making this kind of like a more actiony kind of feel,
Yeah.
and like the platforming, the movement, stuff like that. Raccoon is like much more experience on the action game part. So yeah, that's how it started.
And how is it for you now? Because what we can see here is that this has a little story. So basically, the Kid Bash is one of those unnamed heroes. You know, that you can clearly see that is influenced by lots of main characters in video games, and is basically it's about his way of becoming a hero.
Yeah.
I assume, and every character has its own story. How is it for you to go from making a toy to actually give these backstories, to develop a little bit more about it? Because you tell me, I don't know, when you were making the toys, if you were thinking about these backstories and this kind of things or not.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started the toy in 2019, and since then, Kid Bash, the character, has like gone through several redesigns. This is the one we
Okay.
landed on for the game. Uh, so like, because we view this not as just a singular game or a singular toy and stuff, we view this more kind of like a, it's an IP, it's a series, So
Mm-hmm.
even back then, before we even had the thought of making a game, we already did have this kind of like the
Okay.
rough storyline, But of course, for the game, uh, again, because this is our first game, me and Ezra's, uh, we've had a lot of like learnings, like, oh, what
Yeah.
kind of story can fit this kind of structure and such like that. So even though we did have the general like outline of the character, the story and such like that, since we started toys, we had a lot of like adjustments to fit, just to make sense, within the
Okay.
gaming context.
Yeah, it makes sense, but I assume that this was a challenge for you, because
Very
it's something
much.
so new. What were your, would you say, were your main challenges while working on this, on this game?
A lot. There has been many challenges and many learnings, because our studio, before this, our studio is mainly an animation studio. Aside from toys, we do make
Mm-hmm.
we used to make toys and like animations on YouTube, cartoons on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And then the well, first off, the whole game, the visuals, the animations, and everything is entirely made with Blender. It's a free
Oh.
software, and it is like, for us, it's like the best 3D software. Uh, and just like taking it from Blender and making it a game ready asset at first was like very much a challenge. What we so And the interesting part is that, okay, so the character and the story is inspired by like retro stuff. Of course, the gameplay is also obviously inspired by retro stuff, but it turns out that even the development side, we took a lot of inspiration from retro games like Donkey Kong Country mainly, and how they, even back in the 90s, they made it with pre-rendered graphics. And we just thought, why wouldn't, okay, why isn't that done anymore,
Yeah.
pre-rendered graphics as a sprite sheet. So yeah, the engine itself is purely 2D. It's a sprite sheet, but we're rendering it in Blender, and that took
Okay.
a while for us to figure out.
Yeah, I can imagine that that is something very challenging. Um, Ezra, what would you say it was another challenge or another thing that was that was hard for you to while developing
Mm,
this?
yeah, I think the most challenging part is because, again, I've never done a game before, me and Bima. So from my side, because I'm more like a producer on this game, I need to learn about the workflow,
Mm-hmm.
especially the workflow on the video games, like a workflow on animations, and also video games really different, because
Yeah.
we need to understand about the game design first, and then how to understand the workflow of the programmers from the Fat Raccoon, even Niji games, and then
Mm-hmm.
how we do the weekly meetings, and then how we do the evaluation review and everything. I think the most challenging part is like the first one is understanding the workflow of the video games, and also
Yeah,
like working as with the three different studio is also really
exactly.
challenge for us. Like to set up like the understanding, set up the boundaries, and set up like the direction of the games. It's something that really challenging, but at the same time it's really exciting because like me and Bima always dream to creating a games, and then right now we are making the games. Like we really have
Yeah.
like it's challenging, but it's also really fun. Fact is, like when
Yeah.
we do the animation or work with clients or maybe partners, we usually do some research, right? Like we
Yeah.
search research of the maybe like art direction and everything. But now we do the research by playing a lot of video games right now. I think that's challenging because usually we
Yeah.
play for fun, but right now we need to play to understand about the mechanics of the games
Yeah.
that we used to love. So yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine that it is to look at video games in a completely different way than you usually do. And you mentioned here something that I think it's quite interesting, is to make sure that three studios work together in something that looks like this. And I mean, we can already see so much. It's a very unique kind of game. Even if it's influenced by lots of games, it's something very unique and very particular. And I wanted just for you to add, if possible, how do you maintain that chemistry between the three companies? Because I can believe that from a production point of view, it's a mess. I assume.
Yeah. So like well first off, uh saying it as like three companies, it sounds like, oh, it's such a big like like just such a big endeavor. uh I mean, it is challenging, it's very challenging, but uh for authentic remixes and Fat Raccoon specifically, our team isn't like 50 people team. It's not like for this game we have two 3D artists, in addition to myself. We have another animator and we have a writer too. And so just to like paint a picture of how many people are involved, at Fat
Okay.
Raccoon, I think we have two or three programmers
Okay.
currently, and some game designers too. So uh so yeah, it's not as big as like like, oh, three
Yeah.
Yeah.
companies sounds, but it's still challenging because like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like who does what, so we
Yeah.
kind of like stay in each other's lanes, well, and then we, as much as possible, we talk things out, we discuss stuff, we're like super like transparent with each other, and all that.
Yeah. Because I can imagine that it's scary to just let someone else work on your IP and your beloved characters. So
Yeah.
uh, at least that part should be hard. But again, this sounds really good. I'm sorry, I have stopped here because I have seen this character, Catfish, that is actually barking. Please tell me more about this character. I love him.
Yeah.
I
So yeah,
I oh,
so
sorry.
yeah, you can pet him. That's definitely a feature. That's
Yeah,
definitely a feature we did.
it's great.
Thank you. So yeah,
um
we were so glad you like him. You get, so it's kind of like a joke that you got catfished into, like Kidbash, the character got catfished into, like, oh, are you a cat or a
yeah.
frog? And then he barks, and he's like, okay, he barks. He will have like a function later on.
Okay.
He does have an important gameplay function, but I
Okay.
don't think I think the number one, like, most important gameplay function is that you can pet him. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think every game is better if you can pet. Oh, oh. If you can pet yeah. Yeah, I'm very happy about this, and I had to comment because I wasn't expecting. I was just here trying to see the characters. So I assume all these characters are toys then, right?
Hopefully in the future, yes.
Okay, not all of
Uh,
them are toys yet.
Not yet. Yeah. So because a lot of these characters are original for the game, we
Okay.
do. So like, ironically enough, the main cast for the toys are not even like set to a. Well, the main cast from the toys, that's set to appear in this game is like only 2 out of 5. So
Okay.
we're like just leaving the other characters for hopefully sequels if we, if
Okay,
that
okay,
if
that's
that happens, you know.
um I mean, it's oh,
Yeah, for this game, it's only currently it's only Kidbash and Hana-chan. That's like those do have toys.
okay.
So Hana-chan is the one you're gonna meet, the one with the pink hair.
The pink hair. Oh, I
Yeah,
just have
yes,
to. I'm
yeah. You
not
gotta wall
very
jump.
good at platformers.
That's fine. That's fine.
So but yeah, and they are very unique characters, but even the ones from that were created for the game, I couldn't tell that they weren't toys. Which I think it's a good sign for you, and a good also a good marketing and business prospect for the future, I
Yeah.
suppose. But I wanted to hear a little bit more. When when is the game coming out? What if you already have an expectation for that?
Yeah, so for the expectation of the game is, I mean, for the timeline, currently we have a plan that we should finish all of the features of the games. It should be at the end of the year, next year.
Okay. Okay.
So, but there's a lot of stuff to do, right? Like maybe like another porting the games, and like maybe like marketing and like the timing and everything.
Yeah.
So it could be maybe at the end of the year or even early 2026, something like that. That we are pursuing that area. But our timeline, we should finish all of the features and like all of the contents of the game like at the end of the year next year.
Okay. Okay. And when you, so basically this is a platformer, but it's also a roguelite. Why
Yes.
picking this specific genre?
Okay. So like so like this is an action platformer roguelike. So the roguelike part is how we're trying to kind of like modernize the retro feel, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
the feel itself is very much inspired mainly by Mega Man X, and aside from that, it's very much inspired by specifically Kirby 64, if you're familiar with that,
Yeah.
and Gunstar Heroes. So what we mean by that is that you can mix and match different weapons and then combine them into other weapons, you know. Like back in Kirby, and you can mix the ice and the electricity weapon powers from Kirby 64, and then you get a refrigerator, and that's just really fun. So we're so that's one of the main mechanics that we're gonna bring back here. And
Okay.
why it's a roguelike is that it's for us, it's kind of like interesting to have these retro feel, you know, these kind of like uh familiar controls, familiar enemies, familiar kind of levels and combat and such, but make it in a way that's different, that's new. It's more modern because roguelike is kind of more of a modern kind of genre, and I think it you know it just meshes well. We're trying to make it, you know, mesh well.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit here.
it's fine. It's fine.
No worries.
Because so talking a little bit um, about because the game feels already pretty uh, I mean pretty developed already, I should say. lots of the sound design, the animation, the enemies, the kind of things. I suppose there's a lot of work that you all need to do yet. But I wanted to ask you. So you have been also playing games to try and figure out what is the best approach that you should be having. So have you been playing this a lot?
Replaying our game, you mean?
Yeah. If how are you playing your game? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, of course we're testing it a lot, like almost every day. No, I mean like every day, because there's a lot of like, so currently in the demo that you're playing is kind of, by now it's actually kind of like outdated because this is from August. Is it Zero? I think it's from August, right? This demo, August or September. And since then, we've done a lot of stuff, like, of course, like new enemies and new levels, because like we've had like different, very good feedbacks from a lot of like players and other developers, and we've been playing uh, so much other like action roguelikes and stuff. So, and by now the stage design is like so different in the current version than compared to the one that you're playing here.
Okay.
Uh, and this one in this demo is just the first tier. In the end, we're gonna have three main tiers and the final, like a special tier at the very top of the mountain.
Okay.
So yeah, we still have quite a long way to go, and some of this, like, and here some of the VFX and some of like the sound and even some of the animations are still placeholder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah,
there's still very much to do, and we've been playing it every day.
Yeah. I
yeah.
can. Oh, I just wanted to put the sound a little bit lower here. But so you have this as placeholders, but again, it feels very very unique. I think what you want to do with the game already shows a lot of its potential, even in this early version. Um, so basically, what we could see there, do these enemies here have toys or not really?
I'll let Ezra answer that while I look for it.
Yeah, so basically, we do all of the design like based on the toys. Usually, all of the characters here, even the enemies, like the tank boy here, is one of the early enemies that we already created, and we already like do the prototype of the toys. But most of them maybe not currently not released yet right now. The one that
Okay.
already released is only Kidbash for now, because we are still indie studios and we are small studios from Indonesia, and then we do the productions very limited. Like we used to join a lot of a ToyCon event, something like that,
Okay.
and we do like a limited production of the toys and everything. But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we believe that all of the characters here is, how to say, like Bima designed the characters, like he think that he imagined how this could be becoming a choice. That's Kidbash and Hana-chan. You can see on the
Yeah,
on the Bima
Yeah.
camera. That's the toys.
yeah, Ezra.
Oh, I love them. Oh, I'm going to ask you to show them when we don't have the game. Like later on, I'm
Oh,
going to
okay.
ask
Yeah,
you
yeah. Okay.
to show again so people can actually see them better with the camera even bigger. But yeah, basically, even though that's okay, you make these toys, but at the same time, you also have oh, okay. Sorry. It's harder than it looks to try and and do
Oh,
two
I
things at the
guess.
same time. But I wanted to ask, like, you make the designs of the characters, but you also decide on you of course you develop the stories, you develop everything, it was already developed, but you also have this kind of decision making or decision, you are involved in this decision process of how the level is going to be designed. How do you do it, because this is your first game, so I assume that you need a lot of help, but at the same time this is your IP.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, uh, it helps a lot that the people from Fat Raccoon and Niji are much more experienced than we are in regards to games. Uh, but yeah, we've had a lot of like learning, just like as I mentioned before, we play a lot of games as kind of as research, you know, and that's kind of like the most fun the fun way to describe like, oh, I'm playing a game for work. It's pretty that's a pretty cool part,
Yeah.
you know. Uh, but yeah, it's definitely a challenge, especially the stage design and stuff like that, because uh, we're trying to trying to strike a good balance between between like the just like just figuring out what it means to be a retro action platformer kind of feel, but in a roguelike context, so uh, that part is so different now than when we began, uh, you know, and since then we've had, oh, this stuff worked, that didn't, and we tried again, oh, that stuff worked, and that stuff didn't. So we
Okay.
Yeah.
just had a lot of trial and error on that part. And
Okay.
a part of the thing that we're trying to do is that we're trying to make Kidbash the player to be very customizable, like how you would build a character in a roguelike. Like if I play Hades, I know what build I'm gonna go with.
Yeah.
Depending on what I get in the first, as like the first boon in Hades. So we're
Yeah.
trying to do that, and we're trying to theme it around familiar game characters. Like like here you can see on the map, it's like there's a yellow power up, there's a purple power up, and there's a red power up, and the other colors too. So like
Okay.
the red, I'm not again I don't think I'm gonna say directly what
Okay.
those will shape Kit Bash as, but basically the red power up will give you fire, of course, fire powers, but also jumping power ups.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like it's gonna make you feel like a certain character that that has fire powers and they jump a lot, things like that. We're trying to make the power ups that way.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's very very interesting. Um. Oh. Oh no.
Oh yeah, this is a combat level. So in the current build, the one that not this demo, I mean the latest build that we have, we actually integrated these combat rooms within the more action rooms. So it
Okay.
flows. In the current build, it flows much more seamlessly between the two,
Okay.
like
So
that.
basically,
Mhm.
this is a kind of arena.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you pick the ah,
Ah, cool.
okay, I did it.
Self-destruct.
Oh, and you can then do your build according to any kind of roguelite. Okay. What am I going? Oh, attack speed. Attack speed is fun. Let's try it out. But basically, you get locked in this kind of paths when you choose them, right? And there is
Yeah.
no way that you can see where they are going. Um, can you tell me a little bit more about why did you
Yeah.
decided to make this in this particular way?
So the idea is that uh, once you know, like once you've played a few runs and like you know which just which power ups you like, which builds
Mm-hmm.
that you kind of like. Uh, Once you know that, you can when you see the map here, you can kind of plan your way up.
Yeah.
You know, so even though it is randomized, it is a roguelike. We're trying to make it. We're trying to make that part more, I guess, more. I wouldn't say more accessible. Well, it kind of is. It kind of is more
Okay.
accessible. We're not trying to say it's like easier than typical roguelikes. So we're just making it. We're trying to make it more accessible while keeping the difficulty. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. Now that you mention accessibility, I wanted to ask you what if there is any particular thoughts that you have while making a game that can be played, because this is I assume these toys are usually um, thought for which kind of public.
Hmm.
Is it for adults? Is it for children? I'm asking this because I think that it also means that the game should also be accessible for the kind of public that you have in mind. I assume. I'm just
All
asking.
right. So Ezra, you want to answer that? He's much more in tune with the toy part too.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's quite interesting part. I mean, like basically, we made this game. We have our certain target market when we're creating the toys and we're creating the games. Which is a target market is us, both of us, the creators,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
we we really want to make a toys that we really loved, and we want to really make the games that we really love. So basically, that's the target market. Basically,
Okay.
that's the people like us. Like we used to love like retro games. We used to love to collecting a toys,
Okay.
and then basically that's the target market. But however, when we're making this, we always how to say, like thinking about the brand image of our characters, especially Kidbash. Like
Yeah.
we want to make it like a very, how to say, like accessible for everyone. Like this one is like the specific characters that we want to creating. So when we create this, it's actually I don't know, like maybe it's like we think that to targeting people like us, and then we want to make it like the brand image is very friendly, and it turned
Yeah.
out that our currently our stage is like we are like we used to play games when we were kids, and then right now we are working, but we really still want to play the games, and then we kind of find like a nostalgic uh,
Yeah.
nostalgic uh, nostalgic visuals, like people that really want to feeling nostalgic with their game, something like that. And then because of the visuals, it's pleasing and it's like very friendly. And it turned out that when we showcasing these games in like at on offline events and everything, like people like us, we used to play Mega Man and we used to play Kirby or Mario. We want to try the games, right? And then it turned out that usually people like us, usually we already have family and we already have kids, and the people
Yeah.
that comes, they come with their kids, right? And the kids, because they just like the visuals, is like very
Yeah.
friendly. They just approaching our booth and they want to try the games, and then when they play the games and the family say that, hey, it's not how you used to play. This is how I used to play before. So
Yeah.
there's kind of a situations right now. So if you're asking us who is our target market, basically the target market is us, like maybe like a retro gamers that used to play games and really like challenges. But however, we want to make it accessible because we think that the new generation deserve to play this kind of a genre of games, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the situations right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I
So.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. So like, uh, and the toy that we mentioned before was it was an art toy. So the main market was, like us. I would say like we're late millennials, right? Yeah, those those nostalgic crowd, uh, and the game itself is also catered to like our own like age group and demographic, and yeah, we're trying just like updating like the retro feel, and also like even though we're trying to make this accessible, we're not trying to make it accessible in the sense that it's easy. I mean,
Easy.
as you can see,
Yeah.
like you've been like yeah, you've been restarting. I think that's as very
Oh, I'm terrible
yeah,
at this kind of games, and I'm also like paying attention to what you
yeah,
guys are saying. So yeah, but no,
definitely it's
I'm usually
challenging.
terrible. But
But it is very challenging to talk and play at the same
yeah,
time. It's so challenging. But
Yeah.
yeah, so we're viewing accessibility as not kind of like a difficulty curve. We're as long as we think as long as it's fair, uh,
okay,
as long as it's fair, it can be as difficult as the player would like.
okay,
Because obviously both roguelikes and retro games are not the easiest, but we're trying to view accessibility as more of a just like that curve, that
yeah,
ease of like easing the player in, like ease the like like smoothing out that experience. Like maybe if you go to some retro games nowadays, it's kind of too hard. It's because
yes.
it's like just hard right off the bat, and
Yeah.
yeah, we're trying to ease that in.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
because what I was thinking while playing this is like this is the kind of game that I used to play as a kid as well. But I can see that my nephews probably would have a different approach, and maybe they would like to play this kind of game, even though it has that retro feeling, but it also feels pretty. Again, it's not as frustrating as many of the retro games because they were sometimes impossibly hard games.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have that feeling. The It looks pretty nice, which is something that maybe for the kids nowadays can be a thing. So I think when I see it, I can perfectly say, oh, this is the kind of games I used to play. More or less, that was the feeling that I used to get,
Yeah.
and I think that is pretty cool.
Thank you. By the way,
Thank you
you
so much
have
for
two
saying so.
weapons right now. You can mix the weapon.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, okay.
So
There
good.
you
Ooh.
Yeah.
go. So
Because
basically,
that's
the mixed weapon is our main mechanics right now. Like this is like something that we want to push for players to use these features, because there's a lot of advantages when you're using the mixed weapon. Like it's much more powerful, and it kind of mixed two weapons. And then like if you have modifiers on your weapons, it can combine the modifiers at the same time too. So it's like two boons becoming one, something like that. Maybe if you play Hades, something like that.
yeah. That's the thing. Since this is the controllers are for Xbox. The controllers no, but the tips are for Xbox controllers, I suppose.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
I'm using a PlayStation one, a DualSense.
Oh,
I
okay.
get a
Okay.
little bit confused on okay,
Confused.
what is X,
Yeah,
what
which
is
button?
Y, and I get it gets a little bit harder to understand how to do that. So it's
Yeah, you
probably something. Okay, I did it now.
yeah.
I did it
Yeah,
now.
so you kind of have to like translate the buttons
Yeah.
again in your head, huh? Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, it's no problem for me because I'm used to both, but I have to do it while I'm playing, so it gets a little
Yeah.
bit confusing.
Yeah.
But I assume that
Yeah.
this is going to be corrected
Yeah.
or
Absolutely,
integrated
yes.
Absolutely.
in the future. That's why I didn't even mention it. But yeah, it gets a little bit harder when I'm trying to wait. Where is A? Where is B? Yeah.
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 we're definitely gonna like just like tick all those boxes. I think it's pretty uh like standardized now that you have to have like those different like button prompts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even if like you're playing on the PC,
Yeah.
usually there's like yeah, usually
Oh,
like
there's
there's
too many.
different buttons
Yeah, but
like according to
this
which controller.
but yeah, this game is definitely to be played in a controller.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if you can play it with mouse and keyboard. I didn't try because I don't feel like I would have the best experience while doing so.
Yeah,
But can you?
Yeah, so I mean, like I myself, I play it with a controller too, but our audio guy actually plays it with a keyboard. But
Oh,
then again, he plays everything with a keyboard. He plays Monster Hunter and Dragon Ball with a keyboard. So
oh,
so yes, this is
that
compatible with
is
keyboard.
interesting.
Yeah,
So at least you know that it will work no matter what kind of
controller. Yeah,
a controller
absolutely.
you have, what kind of platform you have.
yeah.
Is this coming out for more than PC?
We're hoping.
Yeah,
Because
We're
so
hoping it does.
we believe that the first right now the how to say, like, the first priority is for the PC, but
yeah,
we believe that after we have several, like, on Twitter or on YouTube, there's a lot of people are expecting it to be on Nintendo Switch
yeah.
because how it looks and how we play the games and everything. So we believe that after we finish the priority of for the PC, we will
Mhm.
do the porting for consoles, and the first priority is for the Switch, and then for the Xbox
Yeah.
and PlayStations. Right now we are in talk with the partners as well. So
Okay, cool.
hopefully we're gonna launch these games on every platforms, but maybe it's not gonna be at the same time's release. It's gonna be
Yeah.
maybe partial release, but yeah, that's the plan for now.
I
Yeah, that's what
mean,
we're hoping.
yeah, I could see myself playing this on the Switch, definitely, more than on PC. So I get this is where my question came from. Now, we only have a couple more minutes, so I would like now to give or at least to ask you the final thoughts about this game, and maybe if we could get the three cameras overlay so we can see the toys. If you can show us the toys again, Bima, please.
Yeah.
uh,
Yep.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, they're adorable. They are adorable. um
Yeah, currently because we are from Indonesia, so it's currently only available here. But we're
okay,
hoping to expand that as well someday.
I will definitely get one myself when you when you guys release it worldwide. Now, I wanted to ask both of you: is there anything that you would like to tell the people that are watching us, or your community? Because I think it's an important thing while developing a game.
Yeah. So I guess if I the one of the things that I wanna talk about in the that's in the game that's currently not as shown as the other parts is the story part,
Hmm.
because we've had quite some positive feedbacks on both the characters. I mean, like just like you said before, Anna, about Catfish. Yeah, you enjoyed
Yeah.
that character, and we've had a bit of positive feedback around the dialogue as well. We're trying to make the general feel of the story and the dialogue kind of we're looking towards mm, kind of like Undertale and Paper Mario,
Ooh,
that kind of dialogue and story. And
nice.
the setting itself, the setting of the game is it's set in the world of the odd, which is kind of like a world for forgotten game characters. Now, we haven't gone too much into that yet, but
Okay.
part of the interesting thing that we do have, I don't know if we're ever gonna release this. I mean, like hopefully, but we actually have a Game Boy game. Yeah. So what we did was that we got a ROM flasher, and we made the game in GB Studio, and actually met some of the, I think we met some of the oh no, we met a friend of the developer of GB Studio, and this
That's
is entirely
amazing.
made in GB Studio, and we actually recycled some old Game Boy cartridges just to play this. But yeah, so the retro part, it goes into the story as well, because uh the ending of like this Game Boy game that we've done for fun, the ending of this is the beginning of the game, the Super Legend game.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
you have to release it. Yeah, I'm very excited now. So yeah, you have to, one way or another. I don't know. I know that it's not like that, but it's pretty cool that you did it. Ezra,
Sorry.
is there something that you like to say to the people that are watching, to the
Oh,
community?
I think Bima already mentioned everything about. I think the support from the community of the indie games is really amazing, because this is our first time to do everything on Twitter, on YouTube, and even IndieX is really supportive, or really support what we've been doing. I mean, like we really love to creating these games, because this is like what we really want to do. And
Mhm.
when we have like appreciation from the community, and even like some people just coming to our booth and they say that they love the characters, it really means a lot to us. Like, it makes us want to work more, want to make this really better, want to make this really set the expectation really high. So it's like it's really amazing, the experience so far. I mean, we've been to Gamescom in Germany, we've been to Tokyo Game Show, we've been to Gamescom Singapore, and a lot of online events like this,
Awesome.
and met a lot of new people and new community that really appreciate our games. Like, we believe that video games is like a global languages. Even we are from Indonesia, but our story and our art and our gameplay
Yeah.
can reach a lot of different people with different languages. It's really amazing. So yeah, I think that's what I want to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Bima, Ezra, it was a pleasure. And as you said, this, I mean, I can see where this comes from. I can see, I myself feel nostalgic playing this. I myself feel very excited to have something old and something new at the same time. And I really can't wait to see the full version of the game late 2025, hopefully. Uh, so thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for this amazing game.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we appreciate the opportunity a lot. Thank you so much for having us here.
We are going now for a break, but we will have more games today in this and other sessions in this IndieX 2024. So I'll see you around.
Oh, it seems you've been forgotten. By whom, you may ask? Why, forgotten by the players. You see, this may surprise you, but you, my friend, you are a video game character. Now, you may think to yourself, wait, I'm not a real person? And to that I say, you are very real. Real to the hearts of the players. So you see,